Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Shirani. Today I'm going to show you how I make rice and beans in my rice cooker. In this video, I wanted to make it easy as possible for you, so I'm showing you how to make it with canned beans. I don't normally use canned beans. I usually just use the beans that I cook. But I have tried it with this seasoned black beans and oh my goodness, it's so good. I'm only using 2 cans of beans for this recipe, and if you can't find seasoned black beans, just use your regular black beans or red beans, either one will work. But the seasoned beans just add a lot of flavor to your rice and beans. As always, I'm going to have the exact measurements listed in the description box below for you. Make sure you get everything out of the can. You can't afford to waste any of this deliciousness. I mean, you need it for this rice and beans. Next, you're going to need 1 can of coconut milk. And I don't always buy organic coconut milk or organic things, so don't think you have to buy that. But I just buy whichever one is on sale, and this happened to be cheaper than the non-organic one, so that's why I'm using this one. This is going to be the easiest rice and beans you've ever made. For me, I prefer to cook it in the rice cooker than on the stove. Although I have a recipe cooking it on the stove, so if you don't have a rice cooker, I'm going to leave that recipe link below so you can check that out, how to cook it on the stove. But a rice cooker just makes it so much easier, so if you can buy one, invest in one, and they're not that expensive. So what I like to do is I like to just go ahead and heat this up. So just give it a good stir to mix everything together, and then turn your rice cooker on so this could heat up a bit before you add the rice in it. If you're looking for a rice pot, I'm going to leave the updated version of this one linked below. I've had this one forever, so they don't look like this anymore. I'm just going to put this on a white rice setting to pretend that I'm going to cook my rice, but I just want to heat it up, and I'm just going to let this heat up for about 15 minutes or so. So when it comes to the rice, I like to use just regular long grain white rice, and that's the one I always use. And I'm just using the cup that comes with the rice cooker to measure the rice. I'm using 4 cups of rice for this recipe. Now, if you've lost your cup that comes with the rice cooker, or the wind blew it away or something, just use a regular measuring cup. So 4 cups of the rice cooker cup would equal to 3 cups of your regular measuring cup. But I usually just use the rice cooker cup because I always have that. I keep that in my rice cooker so I don't lose it. A good tip is if you could get a strainer like this to wash your rice, that just makes it so easy. Instead of using a basin or something like that, you know, because then you lose a lot of your rice. But this way you don't lose anything, and I just love using this. So I have this link in my Amazon store if you want to check that out, and I'm going to leave the link below for you. Now that the 15 minutes is up, I'm just going to turn it off and unplug it. And you have to unplug it, well, at least for my rice cooker, because when I'm ready to turn it back on, it won't come on unless I unplug it and then plug it back in. The reason I like to just go ahead and heat up the coconut milk and beans is because that way I can see how much liquid is in the pot before I add the rice. Then just go ahead and add your washed rice to the pot. The last thing you're going to do is add 1 teaspoon of salt. And that's it. Since I'm using seasoned black beans, I don't have to add anything else to the pot. Stir that really well before you close the pot. If you haven't been following me on Instagram yet, it's at Cooking with Shirani. I'm always sharing stuff in my story over there, so follow me if you don't want to miss it. Now I'm just going to plug this back in and let this cook. And I'm just going to put this on the white rice setting. And this takes about 35 minutes before my timer goes off that it's done. But don't be fooled, it's not cooked. It's not fully cooked, but I just like to go ahead and unplug it and then give that a stir just to see how everything is looking. As you can see, it's not sticking or anything, but I just like to stir it really good and then put it back to cook. Like I said, if I don't unplug it, it won't turn back on, so I have to unplug it to turn it back on. At this point, I just like to go ahead and taste it just to see how long more I have to cook it. For the second round, it only took 25 minutes to cook, and I just go by the timer on the rice pot. Whenever that goes off, that's when I check it. I don't have a set time that I check it. So this took about a total of 1 hour and 15 minutes from start to finish. And I think that's pretty good because while I'm doing this, I can do other things, you know, cook my chicken or whatever I need to do. So yeah, this works out pretty good. As you can see, nothing stick to the bottom of the pot or anything like that, but it does have a little bit of rice bun in it. And Belizean people know what a rice bun. You know, when you cook rice and beans, everybody always fight for the rice bun. So it's just a little bit of burnt rice, but we as Belizeans, we love rice bun. You know, people go crazy for rice bun. Now, if you don't want the rice bun in your pot, what you can do is add a little bit of water to the rice before you cook it. So after you add the coconut milk, you would add about a 1/4 cup of water, and then you won't get the rice bun. But for me, it doesn't bother me. I like it. I want it in my rice, so that's why I do it that way. But if you don't want it, just add a little bit of water or a little bit more coconut milk and you won't have that. Well, there you go guys. I hope you try this recipe. I love it. I enjoy making my rice and beans like this. This is the only way I make it. But if you don't own a rice cooker, I have a recipe on how to make rice and beans on the stovetop using home cooked beans. So I'm going to leave that link below so you can check that out. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you have not yet subscribed, please don't forget to do that. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That will really help out my channel. And I'll talk to you in my next one. Take care. Bye.